Hey, Kobe, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. I know you talked about this a little bit last week, but I wanted to follow up on something regarding the decision to have Jamie kick off. Both Jude and Jamie have strong legs, and I'm just kind of wondering what gives Jamie the edge on kickoffs. I know he has that rugby background. I think Jude played soccer, but I'm just kind of curious what gives Jamie the advantage.
Yeah, I don't think it's necessarily an advantage over the other person. I've said this before. Jamie's flex to be able to do kickoffs, I think, gives him a lot of value. And sometimes it's to get him in the flow of the game, not knowing, when we're going to be punting. So, wanting him to stay active, I think, is one thing. But aside from that, I thought Jamie did one heck of a job kicking off. He showed the ability to place the ball where we needed to. And that's something that, obviously if he gives us the strongest, inclination that he's going to be the best kickoff guy, then that's a guy that we'll continuously use. But I think, like I said before, all those guys have the ability to paint the field, which is a huge advantage for our specialists to do.
And then just one quick follow-up. How much does directional kicking factor into the equation?
A lot. It does, because your coverage has to tie into that. Wherever the ball location is, your coverage has to follow suit. So whether you have certain patterns going on or whether you're trying to kick it in between the hashes, those are all things that deal with the whole kickoff defense. So kick locations is an important part of them doing it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Ed Valentine.
Hey, Gobi, one of the positive areas yesterday, aside from Jamie, was your kickoff return. You had the almost big one from Tay. You finally got a team to kick a couple of balls to Gunner, and he did well. Can you just talk a little bit about how they did and the development of your kickoff return?
Yeah, no, I think from the start of training camp, that was one thing that we dove deep into, the technique standpoint, the schematic standpoint, and that's something that's been an ongoing process to put us in the best position. I've said it before, kickoff return is the first play of offense, so we wanted to have a really strong position from a kickoff return standpoint to give the ball back to our offense with advantage in the field position. So it's a credit to all those guys out there blocking, number one. And then number two, the ball skills of those returners, just understanding how they set up their blocks, understanding that catch mechanics are critical to have efficient returns. Those are all things that deal with the success of the whole unit. And I think, obviously Gunner has done a nice job. Tay has done a nice job in the past couple of games. And the other guys that have been back there as well have definitely owned it. So really pleased with where our kickoff return unit is right now, and hopefully we can keep that moving forward.
Thank you.
Ryan Dunleavy.
Hey, Gobi, thanks for doing this.
Yep.
Banks has looked pretty comfortable with the ball in his hands on the kick returns, but there was one yesterday where I guess it must have been Gunner running it, whoever the other returner was running it, and Banks didn't seem to know who to block or didn't seem to give a great effort blocking. What do you chalk that up to?
Yeah, I don't think it was a lack of effort by any means. I think, part of the development of the returner position is also the development of the off returner position, because you don't know if you're guaranteed going to get the ball. So sometimes that process of them learning, the certain tracks to run when they're going to block, the urgency it takes to get there, that's all a feel thing. With time on task, I think that will continuously develop. And the fact of the matter is, when those reps are on tape, you have the ability to show them, okay, so this is where we got put in a compromised position. This is how we get better. And knowing Tay, he's going to fix it right away. He's a very headsy kid and wants to do right, and he's loved the opportunity to be back there. So we'll stay connected to the fundamentals it takes for him to have success on both being a returner and being an off returner.
And then you made it seem on Thursday like the kicking competition was open. So what did you see to last week in practice to stick with Graham? Because the first week you made it sound like, it was like a chemistry of the unit thing, because I said Graham, I meant Jude, obviously.
Yep.
Because you made it seem like a chemistry of the unit thing because Jude had been here a while. Was it still that, or did you just perform better than Koo?
Yeah, so to that point, I thought the first week, the consistency with the operation, and Jude had done a nice job in the preseason. I thought that was telling for his first game into it. And then going into week 2, I thought Jude kicked the ball well, and it was nothing that Koo didn't do. I thought Jude just had a good week of practice. And, the fact of the matter is, having a good week of practice, having a good game before, you kind of want to have a little bit of continuity with it. So I thought Jude did a nice job for us on Sunday, and that's something we'll continue to stay connected to. Whoever gives us the best opportunity to score points, I think that'll continuously always be a competition. I think it ultimately elevates both the positions. It reveals a lot of things to you throughout the week of what are going to be the strengths, what are going to be the challenges, and obviously knowing the environment. Those are all things that'll play into it.
We have time for one more if there is one.
Gobi, I'll ask about Philly. I know it's quick turnaround. It's like one question's about the Saints and one's about the Eagles. But just when you look at their specials, as you have so far or throughout the season, what pops from Philly specials?
Yeah, I mean, it is a quick turnaround, and that's one thing about these Thursday night games you got to be in tune to, is how quickly can you focus on the next opponent. And I think Michael Clay does a great job in terms of getting his guys to play hard. I think Philly, in terms of the returners, between Dotson, between Shipley, between Bigsby, those guys all have great run skill, good elite top end speed, and then they have core players that challenge you with their physicality, challenge you with their speed. Those are all things from a personnel standpoint that start on their team. We got to know where all those guys are at, and it's going to force us to win with fundamentals this game, like any other game, and certainly a lot of study that has to go into it in a few amount of days.